Hello everyone, this is the Unlimited Wisdom channel. In today's episode, we will talk about one of the most controversial businessmen with a global name, the subject of numerous memes, and perhaps the most polarizing president of the United States, Donald Trump. What determined his success? Was it the outstanding entrepreneurial talent or a fortunate combination of paternal inheritance, favorable circumstances, and personal charisma? Let's try to trace the path of his business from the beginning of the 20th century to the present day. Donald Trump's significant journey in business was predetermined from childhood. He was born on June 14, 1946, into the family of Fred Christ Trump, the owner of a major construction company. The future president's father immigrated to the USA from Germany, and the will to fight for survival seemed to be inherited by his grandson. Among 5 children, only Donald stood out for his toughness and ambition, essential qualities for the heir of the family business. Confident Trump did not appreciate school discipline and looked down on his peers, for which his father decided to give his son a serious lesson and sent him to study at the New York Military Academy. It was there, according to his own admission, that Donald first encountered real competition and the necessity to fight for survival. Thanks to his determination and leadership qualities, he achieved great success in both academics and sports. After the academy, Trump seriously pondered his future. His father's experience and his own business intuition suggested that the construction industry was much more promising. He graduated from the Wharton School of Business and finally got the long-awaited opportunity to work in his father's firm, which confidently held leadership positions in the market. The first project of the young entrepreneur was the modernization of the Swift residential complex in the state of Ohio, and this project was financed by the government, which made it truly unique in the history of business. Young Trump received $12 million, of which he managed to spend only half on construction. As a result, the company made a net profit of $6 million. In 1971, Trump became the owner of his father's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son, and renamed it the Trump Organization. However, unlike his father, who catered to the demands of the middle class, Donald dreamed of dealing with elite real estate development and set out to fulfill his dream in Manhattan. There, he began to pursue what would become his main asset, networking with the most influential people in the city. He struggled to gain entry to the exclusive elite club and carefully studied the city's buildings and the current needs of the wealthy. 3 years later, Trump obtained the right to reconstruct the Commodore Hotel, whose building was in terrible condition but had a favorable location. Focusing on this, Donald Trump struck a deal with Hyatt Hotels, which needed a new hotel in New York. At the same time, he negotiated with local authorities for a 40-year tax abatement for the hotel. His brilliant negotiating skills became the hallmark of the 28-year-old Trump. He spent a significant amount, $70 million, on the construction of the hotel, named the Grand Hyatt. In 1980, the luxurious hotel opened and quickly recouped its investments. Guests appreciated the expensive interiors and the developer's original approach. After the successful completion of the project, Trump began working on the famous Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. He intentionally chose a location directly across from the Tiffany boutique so that the wealthiest people could watch the construction of his creation. Over 6 years, he built a 58-story skyscraper and earned $277 million from the sale of apartments. He also housed his company's headquarters there, while he and his family moved into the upper floors. Trump Tower became a true symbol of luxury. Even when competitors began aggressively lowering real estate prices to divert attention from the new construction, Trump confidently maintained high price points and forever made his name synonymous with status. It was from this moment that he decided to name all his projects after himself. In 1980, the government legalized the gambling business, and Trump, quickly calculating the benefits, began construction on the Trump Plaza complex in Atlantic City. As he admits in his book, The Art of the Deal, money was tight, but he needed college support. So, when representatives of the company were in town, he ordered the builders to actively move dirt around the site, creating the appearance of bustling activity. The representatives of Khalid were impressed and subsequently offered to place their partner's gambling business on the premises. Success truly went to the entrepreneur's head, and in the 80s, he began making one mistake after another. For example, his attempt to sell a football club ended in failure. Donald Trump also ventured into creating the Trump shuttle airline. However, due to the US invasion of Iraq, fuel prices skyrocketed. At the same time, problems arose in the gambling business, especially during the construction of the Trump Taj Mahal casino, into which the businessman invested over $1 billion. Trump always preferred not to invest his own money but to take out loans from banks. Banks unquestioningly trusted the billionaire, not even verifying transactions, and gave him loan after loan. As a result, his debt reached incredible proportions, $9.8 billion. Later, the businessman would recall that at this time, he could envy any homeless person because they were richer than him by almost $10 billion. In the early 90s, all of America's attention was focused on Trump. It seemed impossible to escape such a situation. However, the huge amount of debt played into the businessman's hands. It was easier for banks to restructure the debts than to lose huge sums in Trump's bankruptcy. Meanwhile, Donald decisively took fate into his own hands. He sold off part of his personal property, hired a financial director for the first time, and abandoned a number of his unprofitable projects, such as the Trump Taj Mahal Casino and the Trump Shuttle Airline. Upon learning about the tender for the reconstruction of a skyscraper owned by General Electric, Trump, out of habit, went to the owner to negotiate the terms personally, but the owner refused to listen to the scandalous businessman. Grimacing, Trump prepared a presentation and, on common grounds, still won the tender by offering the best solution. Thus, despite the difficulties, the construction magnate proves that he is a leader in his field. After the crisis, Trump merged all his casinos and hotels into a separate company, Trump Casino and Hotels Resorts. The company managed to buy back some of the casinos that had previously belonged to it, but due to debts, this did not bring any special profits. As a result, the company declared bankruptcy 3 times, in 2004, 2009, and 2014. In 2001, Trump realized one of his boldest projects, the Trump World Tower skyscraper right opposite the UN building. Kofi Annan himself opposed the construction, but Trump's ambitions once again prevailed over possible difficulties. He also planned to build the tallest building in America, but due to the September 11 terrorist attacks, the plans had to be adjusted, and the Trump International Hotel and Tower became only the 4th tallest in the country. In 2012, Trump's first towers appeared in Europe, in Istanbul and Batumi. At the same time, after visiting the Miss World contest in Moscow, Trump expressed a desire to build a skyscraper in Russia, but the project never materialized. Also in 2000, he created several elite golf clubs, with annual memberships reaching $300,000, thus paying tribute to his favorite hobby. And what other game could win the tycoon's heart if not the most famous sport among the world's wealthy? According to Trump himself, in business, he always tried to pay as little as possible. Perhaps that's why he repeatedly found himself at the center of scandal. One of the most notorious scandals was associated with the Trump University project. The university was founded in 2005 and promised students to reveal the secrets of successful business management. However, soon students began to complain that the classes were not beneficial and resembled more of an advertisement than an actual learning process. Instead of the real Trump, they were greeted by his cardboard figure at the university. The cost of education reached several $1,000s, and legal complaints against the future president of America also came from a pension fund and former employees. Trump gained immense fame not only as a construction magnate but also as the creator of his own brand, which he began to develop in the 1980s. Bottled water, steaks, Visa Trump credit card, a collection of men's clothing, furniture and home goods, a modeling agency, and much more were created under his name. In 1987, he published the book, The Art of the Deal, and for many years until 2005, he owned the Miss World contest. He also served as a judge on the reality show, The Apprentice, where he selected top managers for his company in front of millions of viewers. In the 90s and 2000s, Trump actively appeared in movies and TV series, embodying his youthful dreams of the cinema. Additionally, he is widely known for his tumultuous personal life. The businessman has been married 3 times, each time to true beauties. He has 5 children and 8 grandchildren. His daughter Ivanka Trump is considered his favorite. Trump believes, "I'm so talented that even they believe in my potential success in the presidential race." His desire to attach his name to everything he touches is seriously criticized by many serious businessmen. Out of more than 500 projects he is associated with, over half bear the Trump name, even if they don't belong to him. However, the desire to turn his name into a brand has long been at the forefront for Trump, and perhaps this is what truly satisfies his thirst for fame and ambition as a businessman. Trump's most significant and ambitious project is undoubtedly his presidential campaign. In 2015, Trump announced his decision to officially run for the presidency of the United States. The election campaign was marked by a series of scandals. For example, Trump repeatedly made unfavorable remarks about existing politicians, including then-President Barack Obama, expressing doubts about his birthplace in America. Among Trump's pre-election promises was the construction of a wall along the border with Mexico to prevent the influx of illegal immigrants, as well as a tough stance on terrorism, friendship with Russia, and rapid economic growth. In 2016, at the age of 70, Trump won the election and became the oldest and wealthiest president in American history. Interestingly, after his victory, he demonstratively declined the presidential salary and agreed to hold the position for just $1. Throughout his 4 years in office, Trump was remembered for his unpredictability, with a series of controversial actions and statements that nearly led to his impeachment. In 2020, he lost the re-election race to Joe Biden. The trajectory of the businessman's career after his presidency remains unclear. The exact amount of his income is classified, but it is known that he lost $600 million in 2020. Whether the 74-year-old will manage to stay afloat remains to be seen, but it is already clear that he has accomplished his main task of leaving his mark on history. As for my opinion on Trump's personality, I approach it neutrally. Evaluating political figures involves considering various perspectives and actions, which can be complex and multifaceted. It's essential to weigh both the positive and negative aspects of any leader objectively. Regarding the next company to feature, perhaps an exploration of Tesla Incorporated could be intriguing, given its innovative approach to electric vehicles and renewable energy. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our content.